Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as a Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Thursday, December the 5th, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary video brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. Before we get into the video here, I want to give you guys a quick reminder to go check out the website. A lot of informative information there on the site for those of you guys looking for trading education. At the same time, you can find our videos there, and if you're interested in joining our proprietary trading firm or taking any of our education courses, you can use the Contact Us button and on the upper right hand side of the home page to find out more details. And one last thing here, if you have not been to our intraday live trading room yet, mywallstreettv.com, you can fill out the form on the right hand side of the home page to get your 14-day free trial and come check out the type of work that we do. Aside from that, let's go ahead and take a look at the markets here. The Dow closed down 68 and a quarter. The Nasdaq closed down close to 5 points, and the S&P 500 closed down close to 8 points here. Looking at the breadth on the markets, we had 3,786 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the AMEX. We had about 2,478 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the AMEX. Therefore, you can see breadth was in favor of the bears again today. So we have had about 4 days of negative reading, or I'd say breadth reading, in favor of the bears. So have to make sure we take that into consideration. Even though the market's holding up pretty decent with this little pullback action that we're getting, to be honest with y'all, we are seeing some negative reading in the breadth for a couple of consecutive days here. So just keep that in mind when you're trading. Aside from that, let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500, which was down 79 cents today. The SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF, down 79 cents, down close to 0.5%, closing at 178.94. You can see we closed right at the 20-day simple and exponential moving average right here. And if we fail to hold at this level, we should be looking for lower prices back towards yesterday's lows. If we break below yesterday's lows, we'll be looking for 178 and then this 177.55 level we mentioned. If we break over today's highs, you want to be focusing on this 180 level and then the 180 half level here. Again, the financials led the market down today. All right, we had JP Morgan down close to 2.5%, just about. Bank of America was down 1.25%. Wells Fargo down over 1%. Citigroup down close to 2%. Morgan Stanley down 3%. This morning we alerted the traders in our live intraday chat room, mywallstreettv.com, that Deutsche Bank came out and downgraded 2 financial companies, Citigroup and Morgan Stanley, and you can see those got whacked pretty hard today. Not sure if that had to do with any of the selling pressure, but I'm sure it did. And of course, we had some profit taking going on in the financials, as those stocks are up a lot in a short amount of time. So you have people rotating out of the financials. We're still seeing some bullish action in the tech sector, which we're going to take a look at here right now. When we look at the triple Qs, before I take a look at the triple Qs here, I want to show you all how the ES closed on the daily. You can see the ES actually closed below the 20-day exponential and simple moving average, while the SPY, which is the ETF of the S&P 500, didn't. So this could be telling us that the SPY may be looking to get a nice break below that moving average tomorrow, or maybe it gaps below. We'll see how it plays out. Looking at the triple Qs, the Nasdaq 100 ETF here closed down 11 cents, held in there today, but you can see for the past 4 days we've been having these little dojis right on top of the rising 8 EMA, so it's holding up well. But of course, if you guys know candlestick patterns, you guys should know that dojis mean indecision. So there's a lot of indecision for the past 4 days going on up here at these levels that a lot of people consider overbought. So be careful if you're looking at this triple Qs thinking it's going to get a nice little breakout. Want to be open-minded here, as if it does break down, we could probably fall all the way back down, back towards the 84.15 level. We'll see how it plays out. But we do have some strong stocks in the Nasdaq holding up well. If you take a look at Yahoo, Yahoo was up just about 2% today, up 74 cents. Nice follow through day off of yesterday's action. All right, so that's looking pretty bullish. Apple still held up pretty well considering today's choppy price action. Apple was up 0.5%, even though it did close off of its highs and close kind of near the lower part of the range. Again, we don't recommend buying Apple up here. You definitely want to wait for a pullback, as most of the smart money players were involved in Apple when it broke over 530. So you do not want to buy it up here at 570. If you do not buy it down there, you want to wait for some type of pullback. It's going to take a look at Amazon, which Amazon held up pretty fine today. It was only down 0.38%, down $1.47, holding on to the rising 8 EMA right here around, let's see, around 382. I would say if Amazon holds 380, it can maybe build a nice little base right here. If it breaks below 380, you should be looking for the 373 level to get hit, which is a rising 20-day moving average, which we held once, twice, and we could hold that again if we do get pushed down there. Keep an eye on that name. Intel, strong technology stock here today. Intel was up over 2%. Again, Intel did have a nice little breakout about 2 weeks ago. Then the following day, an ugly gap down. Pretty sure this shook out a lot of players. A lot of short-term players got burned on this move right here. But now you can see it held this nice bid down here around 2350 and just broke out of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 session range we had between 24 and 2350. So 50-cent range we've been trading in for the past 7 sessions on Intel, and now it broke out today. Should be looking for some fall through on this stock tomorrow, maybe to start making its way back up here to attempt to retest this breakdown trend line, and then possibly go back up towards these highs. We'll see how it plays out. But with Intel moving like that, that brought my focus back to the semiconductors, which we've been talking about for the past weeks, if not months here. NSM was up 2.75% here. Chart looks interesting, has a nice little big gap. You take a look at the 60-minute chart. You can see we had a nice little shakeout in the morning, up move, sideways consolidation. We'll see if this one can get some fall through tomorrow. I've been watching this Cree stock, CREE, another semiconductor name that's had a big gap down from about had a big gap down from 73.97 all the way to 62.33 on their recent earnings report that came out, and now they held a nice little low down here around 54. It looks like it could trigger a nice long if we can get a nice little breakout over these 58.75s. Keep an eye on this name here if they start to buy some of the semiconductors tomorrow, if Intel has that follow through strength. Let's see what else we're looking at here. Juniper up 2.5%. All right, of course, not the best stock to day trade, as it does move kind of slow. But let's go ahead and take a look at the name here, because it did have some nice momentum today, and volume's picking back up in the name. And it just broke out this little consolidation that it had for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sessions here. And we'll be looking for this thing to start making its way back up towards 21.75, 22.25. Again, not the best stock to day trade, but for some of you guys out there that like to swing trade, this may be a name you like. If you take a look at the recent move from the April lows, you have a nice big up move, have a nice little big wide range channel. This thing could be getting ready to make a bigger move up here towards 23. Keep an eye on that volume down there. Looks pretty interesting if you're looking for some technology stocks to get long. NTAP, nice move today, up close to 2%. Let's go and take a look at some of these data storage stocks. We've been talking about these as well. NTAP over this 4150 level, or call it 4160, should give you a nice trade tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and set an alert for that one. And if you're looking at NTAP, you want to make sure you look at, say, some of the other names out there. EMC, which had a little break over 24 today. It's definitely been getting some action recently thanks to the VMW strength. As you guys know, I believe it's either EMC owns a whole bunch of shares in VMW, or I believe it's VMW owns a whole bunch of shares in EMC. So usually when VMW is bullish, EMC moves as well. So you want to take a look at that name. VMW had some nice fall through this morning. We did mention the VMW in the morning, but it had light volume, so we did not take the trade. We will be looking for that name to have some follow through tomorrow. What else here? JBL, I see that popped up on my radar here as well, up 2.86%, call it 3%. This one also looks to be setting up for a nice trade if it triggers over 2060 or so. So we're going to go ahead and set an alert on that. As far as some weak names in the technology space, Cisco. Since we just got finished going over the triple Qs, I might as well just go over all the technology plays right now. Cisco looking to make another move lower here. should get some momentum once it takes out the low of $20.77. Cisco. Uh, what else? Some other weak technology names I'm looking at here. Adobe was down today. Adobe finished the day down close to 2%. It does have a nice little rising 50-day moving average that will be coming into play right here around 54.15. I would definitely keep an eye on that moving averages. It got a nice little bounce off that moving average before, but it does look like it could roll over. And they do have earnings coming out on the 12th after the market closes. So keep an eye on that name as it could be in play going into those earnings. So Adobe, Hewlett Packard down 3% today. Microsoft down 2.5% today. All right, so Hewlett Packard, funny looking action here the past couple of sessions and now it pulled back. Not really a big fan of trading that stock, but I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. And then we have Microsoft, which came out with some news. I don't know. I got some news around 10:22. Microsoft weakens attributed to reports that Ford CEO has reportedly indicated to other director he has no intention of leaving the company. Press. What does this have to do with Microsoft? I have no idea, so I'm not sure why they have this news out with the Microsoft news. Um, but whatever it may be, you can see Microsoft was down today, and therefore, nice little bounce off the lows, has some support around 37. This has been a strong technology stock, so of course you just want to watch to see if it's going to give you a nice little chance to buy some dips down here at these lower levels. We'll keep this one on the radar. We don't look to do nothing. We're not looking to do anything with that right now. Let's go ahead and talk about the IWM real quick. The Russell 2000 did show some great relative strength today. We noted that this morning or around the afternoon session, and you can see it's bouncing right off the 20-day moving average, which has held for the past 3 days or so now, and it is still holding the 50% trend line of the big channel that we've been highlighting to you guys in the recent or past videos here. Nice upward channel at the 50%, so we'll keep an eye on that. What else do I want to look at here before we go over some more names? Let's go ahead and take a look at the dollar index, and we're going to take a look at the VIX and the euro as well. The dollar index, guys, guess what? It's back below 81. You can see here we mentioned the fact that we had this little descending triangle action going on. I'm actually going to draw that in my chart right now so some of you guys could take note of that and make sure you don't forget. But you have these little matching lows. All right, matching lows, and you have your little lower highs here. All right, this is a descending triangle, and as long as it can play out, all right, as long as it can play out, we should be looking for the U.S. dollar to get some more negative order flow back to the downside. As again, you have your big broadening formation that we've been mentioning to you guys since back here in August, which our target was not hit, but it got hit pretty close there. And ever since this dollar has been weakening, we've been focusing on some of these basic material plays, which have been doing pretty well. If you look at some of the energy names and some of the energy space, you can see those names have been doing pretty well. But either way, I'm not a portfolio manager. I could be a good one if I were one, but we trade intraday short-term action here. Some of the guys swing trade. The dollar looks to go down, and if that does go down, we'll be watching the different asset classes that are going to be affected by this big move to be expected back down in the dollar, back down towards the 79 level. If we break 79, that's when you have to get really concerned about the dollar, looking to maybe move back down towards 78. And then if we break below 78 on the dollar index, it could get real ugly. But right now, we're still holding 79, which has been the support level since March of 2012. And we'll see what happens from there. But right now, the dollar looks like it wants to move lower. Keep an eye on the U.S. dollar. If the U.S. dollar is going to move lower, then of course the Euro USD is going to move higher. And let's go ahead and take a look to see what this did today. It was pretty much flat here, but you did have a nice little breakout candle. Well, no, sorry about that. They already put today's candlestick there, but you did have a nice little breakout in the euro today over this resistance. I believe I mentioned to you guys in the video to watch the euro for a move up. That move has taken place, and if you don't have a way to trade the euro, I could definitely point you in the right direction. I have a broker that I could refer you to that will take care of you and give you some good professional software to trade currency futures or regular futures, indice futures, commodities, and all that great stuff. You can email me at ccooper@wallstreettrading.com for that information. But here we have the euro looking like it wants to go higher. For anybody that was looking at this as a possible head and shoulders pattern from this action, that's pretty much canceled out right now, because now you have a built-up energy of the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 day range here that broke out. As long as we can hold above this 136 20 level, we should be looking for the euro to start making its way back up towards those highs. So what does that mean for the VIX and for some of these commodities? Well, how's the VIX shaping up with this action going on right now? See, the VIX back above 1350. Guess what? It's back above that key 15 level. And if it gets back above 16, we could really see some nice ranges in the markets here. Right now, it's at 1508. Let's go ahead and take a look at crude oil and the commodities. Crude oil showed continued strength today, hit our target of 98, and I believe it pulled back a little bit from that area. But today, crude oil hit a high of, let's see here, 97.99, so a penny off our target that we gave you guys at the beginning of the week. And could have some little short-term resistance right here. Break over 98, you want to look for crude oil to start making its way back up towards 100. Taking a look at gold. Right, gold gave back pretty much everything that it made yesterday, believe it or not. I was in the camp thinking that they were going to try to break it above Monday's high and stop some people out, which they did. If you had a penny stop above the big sell bar that we had on the second. But either way, gold gave back all the action that it made yesterday. And if we start breaking and holding below 1220, then you can look for gold to take out the low of 1210.80 from yesterday's price action, and then look for that 1200 and possibly that 1180 in the coming days, if not weeks. Keep an eye on that. And how does that relate to the gold miners? Because the gold miners, let's see what they did today. They got smacked down a little bit again more here, down 2.5% on the GDX. They did try to rally in the session, but throughout the session later on in the day, they started fading back to the downside. So I really don't want to go over these names. I'll take a look at two of the main ones that I watched. GG Gold Corp, which was down 3% today, looks to go lower. So these are names you want to stay away from at the moment. Definitely want to track them to see if they get a big bounce, because they are getting kind of oversold. But again, there's no signs of buyers coming in those names yet, so I would stay away from them. All right, let's see. So we looked at crude oil, we looked at gold. We can take a quick look at silver for some of you guys out there that like to track the silver. Silver was down 2% today, trading at $19.39 an ounce. And this thing looks like it wants to go back down towards 18 here. All right, and if it could hold that pivot low from yesterday, which is 18.89, and hold this 19 level, that would be pretty good, and we can maybe get a move back up. But right now, we'll have to wait and see. All right, so let's finish going over some stocks here. Let's see, the solars were in play today. They've been getting smacked down pretty hard. Let's go ahead and take a look at FSLR. You had some news out in SCTY today. That stock popped up a little bit. FSLR trading sideways, holding the nice little support here at 59, trading 64 range, 59. All right, so a 5-point range there. TSL, this solar stock has been getting slammed for the past 2 days now. Definitely some sellers in this name here. And if it takes out this pivot low of $13.19, you could be looking for a move back down towards 12, which was a prior consolidation before the big breakout. They may want to come back and retest that breakout level around 12. And let's go ahead and take a look at SCTY, which is a name that a lot of momentum players are trading intraday, especially since the stock has been coming out with good news flow, press releases, which has been making the stock give you good, nice ranges intraday. But SCTY over 56 should make a nice move back up towards 58, maybe even the 60. Keep it on your radar. Has some short-term support around 50.83. Let's see here. Did I go over the financials? No, I did not. I believe I did. Goldman Sachs, real quick. We'll take a look at the top 3 ones that I watched, the top 4. Goldman Sachs down $3.14, making its way back towards the 50% line of the channel. We talked about this name yesterday, saying how it could get some selling pressure based on these bottoming tails and the fact that it cannot break over 170. That selling pressure came today. We'll be looking for a move back down, I would say towards 164. Then we'll see what happens there. Again, JP Morgan, one of the weakest banks in the market today, down $1.37, down 2.5%. it's bouncing right on the 20-day moving average right now. We'll see how this goes into tomorrow. If it breaks the 20, look for a move back down to 54.68. All right, folks. Aside from that, we'll have some more ideas in our chat room tomorrow. Make sure you log in, go to mywallstreettv.com, and just type in the credentials that you get from the email from filling out the form on the right-hand side of the homepage. Have a great night, folks. Cheers.